Welcome to the Forum, your way to keep up with state and community leaders, experts, and local business leaders. This is your chance to hear from and talk to people that affect your life right here in Rim Country. You can express your opinions by calling 474-2427. And remember, the comments and opinions of guests and callers are not necessarily the opinions of KMOG. Welcome to Rim Country Forum.
Good morning. Welcome to the Forum. It's Thursday, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Charlie Seraphin with you this morning. I'm still flashing back to yesterday's program when we asked Yasi Dai, when you were a little girl, did you want to grow up to be a mortician? And she said, yes, with great enthusiasm. So if you missed that program, you missed a lot. I got a real kick out of it. It was a first time. Let's thank our sponsors this morning before we get rolling here. Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, voted Best Cleaning and Restoration Company. Owens Law Firm, voted Jared Owens was voted Best Attorney in Rim Country. Realty Executives Arizona Territory, we know about Kim Ross. She had all kinds of awards, 3 of them. Pinnacle Propane, Alliant Gas, Best Propane Service Company. Hospitality Wireless, Furry Friends, Best Dog and Cat Boarding Facility. Dana Law Group, Holiday Cruises and Tours. Hospitality Wireless is the best wireless internet company in Rim Country, and if you don't know about them, you need to check them out. They have a great product, a great technology, and great service too. And another reminder, if you know anybody associated with the homeless and veterans shelter here in Payson, Dave Golumbewski asked us to pass along the word that they're having a raffle. They're trying to raise $1,000. They're going to sell 50 $20 tickets, and the raffle is for a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber pistol. It's 11-1. I'm sure you could probably get other magazines for it as well, but that's the deal. So check them out. You can go by the homeless shelter. I'm sure they have information. Track down Dave. He's not hard to find, and get that done. So today we're going to have we're going to do a couple different things. I'm going to tell you about my only friend that I've ever really had in life that was a billionaire. We're going to talk about wealth, and we're going to talk about what's going on in America. And we're going to start with Horatio Alger. And some of you know about Horatio Alger, but some of you probably don't. I just mentioned to someone here at the station this morning, so what are you going to talk about? I said, I'm going to talk about Horatio Alger. He goes, what? Who? What is that? So Horatio Alger was a gentleman who was an author, and he lived from 1832 to 1899. And he wrote a series of books for boys primarily, but juveniles. And the moral of all of his stories, and he was a very prolific, influential author, and had a huge impact on the evolution of our country. And the stories that he wrote about said that if you work hard, you have determination and courage and honesty and integrity, that you can rise up. So it's a rags to riches type of stories. And he told these stories, and there were a number of them. And it really influenced a whole generation in the 19th century, coming into the 20th century, that, if you, again, the moral was if you work hard, you have determination, you have courage, you have honesty, you can achieve anything. You can become a millionaire. Well, the problem was that the readers of his stories focused on the last part. Oh, I can become a millionaire. But they forgot about the honesty and the courage and the determination and the hard work. And the reason that we bring it up this morning as a topic is because I saw something the other day, a couple days ago now, and it really got me thinking, and I'm going to throw it out there. And again, it's a little controversial, so if you want to disagree, I'm wide open to it. We have open phones today, 474-2427. You can call and tell me what you think. But the point of it was that we have a class of people. We have a class structure in America, and we don't usually talk about it. We think about it as a democratic society, and we cling to that Horatio Alger myth that anybody with hard work, determination, courage, and honesty can become a millionaire, even if they're born into abject poverty. But the reality in our country is that we have generational poverty, just as we have generational wealth. So we have some people out there who are the sons and daughters of millionaires and billionaires, and their children and their grandchildren will be billionaires and millionaires and have all kinds of money. And then we have other people out there who are born into poverty, who will be poor, and their offspring will be poor. So not that it can't happen, because it can, but the odds of it happening, the Horatio Alger myth, are slim to nil. And we really need to come to grips with that. I'm not advocating socialism this morning, ladies and gentlemen, so just relax, get those blood pressure under control. That's not where we're going. But the fact of the matter is that there are barriers, significant barriers, going up or down. And it was pointed out that all of the students, or 99%, at Yale and Harvard and Cornell and Duke and USC and Stanford and go on, all the great colleges and universities in America are the children of wealthy parents. And once they get that education, they get that degree, that piece of paper that says that they went there, they've got a free pass in the American economic system, and they become even wealthier than their parents were. On the other side of it, there are all kinds of people who go to trade schools or community colleges, whatnot, and through honesty, courage, determination, and hard work, they can, in fact, get out of poverty, and they can get into the middle class. And some of them invent things and create things, as we talked about the other day, and become millionaires, and that's great. It's really awesome. But it's not that many. So I watched Tucker Carlson came up with the idea. He said, since we're going to let all of the illegal immigrants that are in the country right now, and for the most part they're poor people who are escaping poverty that came here, we're going to let them become citizens, apparently, under the new administration. That's one of the proposals. There could be as many as 30 million of them. They've been hanging on the number 11 million for a long time, but that's a lie. There are a lot more people in the country that are undocumented than those 11 million. So whatever, 25, 30 million people. And we're going to let them all become citizens. But Tucker had a really unique idea. He said, what we should do is we should pass legislation that in order to go to Harvard or Yale or Cornell or Brown or any of USC or Stanford, any of the great private institutions of education in America, your parents have to be among the immigrant class. They have to be the ones who came out of this process of naturalization, who came here poor. And that will help break the cycle, because then you'll have only poor people going to rich schools, and the poor people who go to rich schools then will come out. They'll have that free pass to be able to get the jobs on Wall Street and whatever else. And it's a radical idea, and it will never happen, but it made me laugh, and it was kind of funny, and I thought it really is interesting. Not that all those people who are super wealthy in America are bad people, but just the thing that happened with Horatio Alger is that the myth got distorted, and the focus became, how can I make a lot of money? And I don't have to be honest, and I don't have to have integrity, and I don't have to have scruples, and I don't have to have values per se. I can just go out and see how much money I can grab. And we're not talking about bank robbers, but in a sense, many of the hedge funds do exactly that. Manipulate stocks, drive up the prices, drive down the prices, and create artificial wealth. And so the Federal Reserve is just printing money like crazy. Printing money like crazy, folks. And what does that do to the people who are honest, who have courage and determination and have worked hard, particularly those that are retired? They worked hard their whole life, and now they have, looked forward to retirement and said, they planned ahead. They're not wealthy, but we got enough we can get by. But if the federal government keeps printing money the way it is, pretty soon inflation, whether you call it inflation or you don't, the prices of everything is going up dramatically, and then the middle class, the people who were okay, not rich, not poor, but okay, the middle class is going to slide down into the lower group, and they're going to become poor, and they're going to be stressed out. We see gas prices go up as fast as they have in the last week and a half. It's like, what in the world? How are poor people, working people that have to use a truck every day to get to work, how do you pay for that? How do you add on? I filled up my truck. It was $71 to fill it up. And that's up from maybe $40 when it's really drained. So that's huge. There's a lot of money that is just evaporating and going into the pockets of those people who are hedge fund managers and that sort of thing. And as I said, don't create anything, don't build anything, don't grow anything, don't design anything, don't really contribute anything other than just suck money out of the system. And it's a serious problem. Of course, we have a solution. We wouldn't present a problem without a solution, but we're going to go to the phones first. Say good morning. Welcome to the forum. Who's on the line? Are you there? Oop, let's see. Yeah, got all the buttons pushed. No, they went away. Okay, so the line is open, 474-2427. Want to join the program this morning? You can talk about whatever's on your mind. It's an open line forum today. But I'd like you to think about wealth, and then after we get into that a little bit, we may talk about the insurance industry. I got some issues there as well. You're listening to the forum on KMOG and Payson. Charlie Seraphin with you. And here we go.
Alliant Gas Pinnacle Propane is Rim Country's longest-running propane company and number one source for safe, reliable propane service and delivery throughout the area. Their many dedicated and experienced customer service representatives are ready to assist you 7 to 5 p. Monday through Friday with after-hours on-call and emergency service readily available. Propane is safe, economical, and environmentally friendly. Alliant Gas Pinnacle Propane, 474-2294. Remember, be safe and call 811 before you dig. The Dana Law Group will educate and guide you through the entire estate planning process. Wills, trusts, power of attorney, and probate representation. You know estate planning is important. Don't put it off. Having a proper estate plan means your assets will be dispersed according to your wishes. Consultation is free. The Dana Law Group, 431 South Beeline Highway. Set your mind at ease. Don't wait. Call them today. Dana Law Group, 928-445-4440.
We call it the Rim Country Forum. It's a forum of ideas, an exchange of ideas, a visit with interesting folks from time to time. We'll have one of those later in the hour as well. 17 minutes after 9 o'clock, and let's say good morning. Welcome to the forum. Who's on the line? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I was out of town on Tuesday, and when I came back Wednesday, I saw that they did not deliver my paper on Tuesday, and so I do not have the phone numbers to call to get on the list to get the COVID shot.
Okay.
Do you have those numbers, or how do I go about doing that?
Okay, so two things. One, do you have a computer or no?
No.
Okay. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to ask somebody to pick up in the other room, and they can give you the numbers, okay?
Thank you so much.
You bet. Hold on. There we go. I'll take care of that in just a second. So let's see if we can get another rollover number here. Why don't you try 5215? I know you're sitting out there saying, I have something to say. Can you pick that up? That one. There you go. She's got that one. You can try 5215. So that would be 928-474-5215 if you would like to get on the program this morning and express your opinion. So the second part of the thing of let's have only poor kids allowed to go to the fancy schools. That would be number one. Oop, I got to take this off here, huh? She's looking for you, yeah.
It's not on hold because it's not blinking.
Oh. Okay, I put it on hold, but maybe it doesn't go on hold when it's got this. Maybe we got to do that.
Is it this? No?
That one?
There we go.
Okay. We got it. And we got it. We're doing a little technical exploring this morning. So we'll put this back on that, and we'll put this on this.
Operator. If you'd like to make a call,
please
yes,
hang up and try
I would like
again.
to make a call. If you need help, hang up and then dial your
I would like to
operator.
call the White House and speak to President Biden a little bit about the pipeline and gas prices. I don't think he drives much anymore. Otherwise, if he was pulling up to the pump, he would probably say, "What country am I in?" Did you get that line? Did it pick up or not?
It's not on hold. Okay. Maybe she can just call back on 521.
Yeah, if you can call back. Well, let me try to tell her here. See, Oh, go this, go like that. We'll go like that.
That are available to call. Okay, and...
Okay, yeah, that's taken care of. Good. She's getting her number. Yeah, so I don't think he drives too much anymore, the president, and probably hasn't pulled up to the pump. If he did, he would say, what country are we in? Because this is expensive. Holy moly. 20 minutes after 9 o'clock on the forum this morning. So the second part of the rampage, if we could only let only poor people, the children of illegal immigrants about to be legal, they're the only ones that can get into the Ivy League schools and all the private schools. And they got 40, 50, 60, 90, 190, 300. They got millions of dollars of endowments. So they can afford to pay the tuition and pay the salaries of their professors and all that anyway. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's the first part. And then the second part is, what are we going to do about this whole medical situation? Because it's really messed up. You know, and now we're going to go back to have, I guess they're going to call it Biden care. But the system we have right now is broken. I don't think there's any way around that. The doctors are not happy. The nurses are not happy. The healthcare facilities are not happy. And we see, how many insurance commercials do you see for insurance companies on television? Every time you turn around, they're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on advertising. What's the deal with that? How does that benefit us? I don't know. I don't get it. Good morning. Welcome to the forum. Who's on the line?
Good morning. This is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And I'm not happy.
Good.
Hey, you know, the latest thing on the news this morning was giving the people $15 an hour for flipping hamburgers. And they said, you know, it's much needed type of stuff. They needed to get that raised. But then now they're trying to take it out of the COVID money that they're trying to give to the restaurants and people that are losing their shirts and the people that don't have jobs anymore. They're trying to slip that in there. And then what's going to happen is they said the states that are not doing good and don't have a lot of people going to their places, they can't afford to be putting $15 in the workers' pockets, but the people that are in like New York or something like that, where they have a lot of money to throw around, that would be okay. So it's going to affect everybody, and it's going to affect them in all different ways, some good and some bad. That's just one thing I wanted to bring up. But I agree 100% on a lot of things you say, but I want to tell you one thing right now. Once you start complaining, your voice is going over the airwaves just like mine. I just told a guy a couple of weeks ago about a cigarettes that he's throwing on the ground in front of his property. He comes home with his truck, he opens up his gate, but he throws his lit cigarettes down. There's like 100 of them in front of his gate, not on his property, okay, which is adjoining my nut farm down there, which is going to burn this place down. So I told him if he threw another cigarette down, I was going to put my foot up his you-know-what. Well, he got pissed off. And I don't know if he put a complaint in or not at the time. And then there's another person across the street, which is their friends, and they're new. They're from Oregon. What they were doing...
They don't smoke... Say, wait a minute. They don't smoke cigarettes in Oregon. Come on.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I know that. But that probably is a good thing. But anyway, this kid, one of the kids, is living there, and... he's riding his quad, racing around the place, standing up. And I don't know why he's driving it standing up. And he speeds around. He's doing all sorts of things. They did some fishtailing. So I pulled up to their place one day and said, please slow down. And the girl came out and said, that's my brother. This is my place. You address me. So I said, well, tell your brother to please slow down. And he just stayed in the background, nice and quiet. Well... the second time was just the other day. I went by, and he was doing more stunts, and he just cut a car off to go into his yard, and there was a little berm there, so he gassed it, and he brought it up in the air, pulling a wheelie in his yard, and almost cut the car off. Well, he did the same thing to me about a month ago. He pulls out of his driveway and almost hits us head-on when we're coming down the street in our quad, in our side-by-side. So anyway... he's friends with the person that's throwing the cigarettes down. That I told him if he throws another lit cigarette down, and I have the lit cigarette in a vial. Anyway, they get together. They call the sheriff on me. They tell me I'm a hothead and blah, blah, blah. The sheriff comes down. They're telling me I'm being a police officer. I need to stop it. And it's 3 against 1 now. It's their version against what I was complaining about. And now he's saying I'm coming so close to go to jail. Okay? So thank God these two officers, the sheriff, was kind enough to let me explain my part of it. Well, when I started explaining things, they said, well, that's what I'm talking about. You're being a cop. You picked up that cigarette. You took pictures of all the cigarettes in front of his house. And then the other person says, I came on their property and threatened him. I didn't come on anybody's property. But this is what these people are saying. Now, the cop tells me, the officer tells me, there's no speed limit in Geisela on Tunnel Creek Shores side. These roads belong to the homeowners association, and the only road that they can do anything about is Tunnel Creek Shores Drive, which cuts right through the center because it's a Forest Service road. They can do something about that, but all the other ones have no speed limits. There's kids around here. It's a residential area. They could go as fast as they want. This is what he's telling me. And I come real close to being arrested. So I got to keep my mouth shut now. I got to live with all this bull down here. And I don't know. This place is going crazy down here. It's like the Wild West. People are moving in. We used to have respect. We used to have old people down here that respect each other. We drive slow. We know it's a dirt road. I'm not complaining about the dust. The dust is always going to be here. And he tells me that I knew what I was doing when I bought this property because it was a dirt road. And I just told him, I'm not really complaining about the dust. These people, you have a kid that blows through stop signs here with his car and just runs right through them because it's, nobody's there to say anything. And then we have a person a young kid that drives a quad with 4 other kids sitting on each fender going around the turns on 2 wheels. But everything's okay down here, and you can't say nothing about nothing. So I just want to let you know, watch what you say because somebody's listening, and they're going to flip this around on you. And I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Well, I appreciate your call, Joe. I got 2 thoughts for you. And one of them is good and one of them is bad. I got the 2 angels. I got the good angel over here. I got the bad angel over here. And the good angel's got a wonderful message. And what he says to my friend Joe from Geisela, he says, Joe, here's the deal. You got to read Charlie's book, One Stupid Mistake, and do all of the meditations at the end of every chapter. Just take your time over 21 days, and it'll really help you chill out. And the next time you have one of those confrontations, it will just go much better. And it's guaranteed. So that's number 1. Try the meditations. Number 2, this comes from the bad angel over here. I had a situation once where I had a bunch of people driving too fast in front of my house, and you stand out there and you kind of wave at them and they just, they hit the accelerator and gun it and go by and they were driving too fast. And so I had I was going to call it an accident, a just pretend accident. I ended up somehow, some boards that belonged to me, some 2x4s, ended up in the roadway. And I don't know if you've ever seen a car go fast over a 2x4, but it doesn't really hurt anything too bad. But after it hits the front wheels, it bounces up onto the undercarriage and it goes bam, 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 bam a couple of times. And boy, it gets people's attention. Now, it probably cost you a couple of 2x4s. And I know that wood is more expensive now than it used to be. It was pretty cheap back then. But, it did the trick because sometimes talking to people doesn't, but sometimes if you can do a sort of a demonstration of how things work. So anyway, as I said, that was the bad angel. We don't want to listen to the bad angel, so don't really do that. Just go and do the meditations and try to find some peace. 28 minutes after 9 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to the forum. Who's on the line?
Good morning. This is just plain Bill.
Hiya, Bill.
And I don't necessarily plan on following Joe, but he's always a good guy to follow anyway. Couple of comments, Charlie. First of all, you mentioned at the beginning of the show before you talked about Mr. Horatio Elgier, who I did not know personally.
He was a little before your time. He died before. He died back in 1899, and I know you were born the next year, Bill. But he was gone, so you didn't overlap.
My father was born in 1900, the next year. Anyway, you mentioned you had a friend. And I don't know who your friend, it must be, he's the luckiest guy in town, whoever he is, but I just want you to know, in case you don't know, that you are my friend and will be my friend forever. And the second thing is I have a note here to let me know when your book number 2 if it's 2, or maybe it's 102. Anyway, comes out. I enjoyed the first book. Eventually, I checked back on it periodically just to cool down. And I'd like you to let us know when the book number 2 is available and how it's available. I guess that's all I have for today, okay?
Okay, thank you, Bill. You're the best. Love you, man. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I would have forgotten if Bill didn't remind me, and that's why we have such loyal listeners. So my friend, and I'm not going to use his name because it's a famous name, and everybody would kind of know about the family and everything, but my friend, who I met later in life, was the son of one of the original robber barons in America. Very famous family. And he had, tens of millions of dollars when $1 million was really a big deal. When being a millionaire was a big deal. Now there's lots of millionaires. I mean, there's thousands of millionaires, maybe tens of thousands of millionaires. I don't know how many millionaires there are, but there are a lot. And then there are billionaires. There's a whole bunch of billionaires now. There's 30, 40, 50, 60. How many billionaires? Somebody call and tell me. It doesn't matter. There's a lot. But back in the day, at the turn of the century, there weren't as many. And so in the early 20th century, there weren't as many super wealthy people. But this man came from that family. So you know the story of Adam and Eve, and someday I want to just get into that completely and talk about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's so remarkable that the first story we ever have, the first story that was ever really written in the Bible in the Western world, I'm sure there are some Sanskrit traditions and other languages and whatnot, but the story of Adam and Eve is kind of universal, and the fall of man is related to his desire to eat of the tree of good and evil. So that's a wonderful concept. And then they had Cain and Abel. And Cain, not so good. Abel, wonderful guy. And so the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, they say, and we know how that story worked out too. And Abel ends up killing Cain, and it goes downhill from there. But my friend had some brothers, and his brothers did all the bad things, back to the Horatio Alger example, did all the bad things to try to get the money, but the hard work and the determination and the integrity and the honesty and all that was missing with his brothers. But this particular, my friend, had all those qualities. He was industrious, hardworking, creative, intelligent, kind, thoughtful, just a beautiful human being. Wonderful person, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and the most considerate, super wealthy person you could imagine. He was just great. His sons, however, he didn't get an Abel. He did get an Abel. He has one son that's kind of been disenfranchised from the family, so they don't really talk about him, and he's a good guy. But the other sons are just like my friend's brothers were, and they're involved now in this hedge fund thing. That's what they do. So they were born with millions of dollars. Imagine a baby born with millions of dollars and in the bank already behind their name. And as they grew up, what they did is they hired people around them that do all this stock manipulation stuff. And they got the foreign accounts, and they hide the money overseas and the foreign things and everything. And they're real high-profile people in America. Everybody would know if I tell you the name, and I'm not going to, but if I tell you the name, you say, oh, yeah, I know who those people are. But they missed the part of the Horatio Alger story. They just got the second part. They got the part that says we all got to go out there and try to make as much money as we can, and we just got to get the money, and it's all about the money. And that's a false god, right? It is. It's greed, but it's the worship of a false god, and we know where that takes you. But anyway, they're just a small microcosm of this whole movement. And those people and their kids are going to go to all the Ivy League schools. That's how it works. And then they're going to graduate, and then their kids' kids are going to go to all the Ivy League schools, and that's how it works. And they're going to go there, and they're going to reinforce this class system that we have that nobody likes to talk about. So yesterday we talked about death. Nobody likes to talk about death. What happens after you're dead to your body? And I thought we got some really good information from the people at Messenger. Nice folks and dedicated to what they do. And it's a job that I bet there aren't too many millionaires' kids or billionaires' kids who go to mortuary school. What do you think? What do you think? Just take that impression for 1 second and hold on to it. Okay, you're a billionaire and you have some children. They have a choice. They can go to Harvard or Yale or the mortuary school. Probably not going to the mortuary school. Good morning. Welcome to the forum. Who's on the line?
This is the other Joe.
Hi, Joe.
And I was just going to listen to some of this. It reminded me, there was a local story put out here not too long back called the Ferris Report. And I don't know how many people got the chance to read that, but they might want to look into that. And then Joe and Guyzela might look at what happened after that came out, how you can put out a $187 million lawsuit against the town or a few other lawsuits that were flung around about the same situation. That's one way to hush these guys up, I guess. Sounds like, anyway. I'll hang up and listen to the rest of the show.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Joe. That's a good one. Yeah, there's a lot that went on with that. We don't hear too much more about it. It's kind of gotten quiet, but the Ferris Report is a really... I thought it was an interesting document. I haven't heard a lot. I hear people say, "Oh, that's all lies. That's not true." None of that stuff is true. But I don't hear counter presentation of facts. It's one thing to say, "Well, that's all a lie," and they say, "Okay, if that's all a lie, what's the truth?" And I don't know what the truth is because it hasn't been presented to me. So I thought the Ferris Report was very well done, and like you, Joe, I recommend it. I think you should read it. And it raises some questions. There was a recent thing, we had a candidate for a town council who was critical of the unnamed organization, and she didn't win, which is fine. Democracy in America, and somebody else did. But at the same time, just when the election was going on, and just right after the election, lo and behold, somebody bought out the building where she did business, and she had to move her office. And it was the same people who gave her a cease and desist letter, a threatening letter that said, "Stop saying bad things about us." Now, that was a complete and total coincidence, and I understand that. Had nothing to do with the fact that she was critical, and that's why they bought out the office building where she used to work. I think. I don't know. No one seems to know for sure, but it was a coincidence. He said with fingers crossed. 23 minutes before 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Getting behind myself here. We got some business to take care of, and then I'm going to try to invite Mark, if I can find him in the station, to come in for a little bit. He's the genius behind the new KMOG Country website, and it's pretty interesting. So we'll see if I can find him in the station, and we'll be back with that after this.
Happy Dog. Terry Ford and team at Furry Friends thank you for voting them best dog and cat boarding facility in Rim Country. They appreciate your confidence and your trust. Terry prides herself in having a professional and caring staff since 1984. Stop by and check out the play yards for boarders, dogs, and cats. Furry Friends has openings right now for full or part-time experienced groomers. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Furry Friends, just like Grandma's house, all kisses and biscuits. 474-4447.
Dirty carpet, tile, upholstery, wood floors, oriental rugs. Trust all your cleaning needs to the experts. Air conditioning, vents and ducts, flood or fire damage, mold removal. Trust the experts. Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, 511 South Beeline. Jesse Clark and the Sunshine staff, certified and reliable for over 30 years. Trust the experts to be on site within 1 hour in the Payson area for emergency water extraction. Emergency or just a dirty carpet? Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, 474-2521.
It's a Thursday edition of the Rim Country Forum. Charlie Seraphin with you. Open line Thursday, 474-2427. But before we do more open lines, we have a special guest in studio, and his name is Mark. Mark, who are you?
I'm Mark. I'm a web developer. I've been doing this for about 30 years here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Been up to Payson plenty of times. Love it up here. So it's a pleasure working on this radio station up here. Great excuse to come up here all the time and write it off.
Yeah, and how was your ride up this morning, Mark?
Okay, that was that was a low blow right there. I got a 94 Bronco that I love riding, and it just took a dump in one of the valleys there. No cell service at 5 o'clock in the morning driving up here, and it was cold, and I just had to sit there for a couple hours until awesome DPS officer stopped by. His cell phone didn't work either, so I was trying to call the radio station, get somebody to help me out, and his cell phone didn't work. Tow truck drove by. He just turned on his lights, chased down that tow truck, and came and got me. It was awesome.
Well, welcome back. So if for those of you that do go online and look at websites, if you haven't been, you need to take a peek at KMOGcountry.com. That's the web address.
Yeah, especially if you saw it before. So it's a work in progress still, but we're adding a lot of cool features to it. So really working on getting the news feeds going. Just yesterday put up the driver alerts, from AZ 511. We got a little ticker there that lets you know where all the alerts are now. But always adding all kinds of cool features. In the next couple of weeks, we're adding a lot of stuff where it's going to be about getting you guys to, send us cool pictures, do surveys, all kinds of contests, giveaways. So all those features are coming.
And for people who missed the program, like if they missed yesterday's show with the morticians, and they think, "Gosh, I've never really interviewed or heard anybody interview a mortician. I want to hear that." They'll be able to click on the link and find it.
Get all the past shows, cool stuff like that. Yep.
And you put that under what's called podcasts,
exactly. Right. Yep.
So it's not technically a podcast because we didn't really design it as a podcast, but we're going to take regular programming and put it up and call it a podcast.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but we're going to also just start doing some live streams here and getting your pretty faces up on live streams with YouTube and Facebook.
That's scary. And Steve, what'd you say?
I said it's coming, the live streams.
Yeah.
In the near future.
Yeah, we're going to see what all these guys look like.
You're going to scare off all of our radio listeners by having them look at our ugly mug?
Yeah, exactly. You're actually going to have to go out and go work on your wardrobe.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to ask you kind of a philosophical question. Okay. Why is it important for a business like a radio station like KMOG to have a well-developed website?
And it's not even well-developed. It's just having today, that's your business card, So you don't have to have a well-developed website. But it's just your business card. It's your identity. That's the first thing that people are going to be asking for. I mean, sure, if your business is constantly dealing with people in your generation, our generation, we're all old in here. But if you're going to try to get new customers from different demographics, from beyond your driving reach or something like that, just got to have a web presence that explains your business. And it helps if it looks a little bit decent. You got a lot of competition out there now with nice websites. Back in the day, you could have a pretty plain website, but these days there's a lot of competition out there with really nice websites. So it doesn't have to be fancy, but just looks cool. Just to let people know, let people find you, let people know what you do. It's your business card. It's your identity.
And that's one thing. The other thing is using it to its advantages. If you're optimizing with search engines and things.
Yeah, that's the next level. Yeah. These days, it's all about being found on the internet, and Google's constantly changing those rules. So keeping up with good SEO, so people start finding you versus you saying, "Hey, I'm here." That's your business card. If you want it to do more than just be a business card, you want people to start finding you, new customers to randomly just search for something and you come up, you need to start doing good SEO. And there's millions of people out there looking for you. So you just got to put in the right words. Keywords don't work anymore. It's all about writing good content. The latest algorithm from Google reads your website like a human reads it. The AI is ridiculous. So just write good content about what you actually do. And then it's all tied to your social media these days. So Google's basically saying, how active is this person? Is this a real website? So tying all that together, that's what really gets you found out there.
Yeah, I think I tried to explain that the other day, not quite as well. But
really,
that's just the tip of the iceberg.
I don't remember that.
I don't claim to be a tech guru, but I'm learning like the rest of us. But people wonder why, when you search, whatever it is you might search, so you come to the top of that list. How does that person get to the top of the list? You don't buy your way there.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. And that's maybe not so true now. And again, this is just a rumor out there, but it seems to work that if you do buy Google ads, and Google ads are cool, Facebook ads and Google ads are cool because you could set the budget. So you set $100 for a month, and it won't go over that, so you always know what you're going to pay for. But you know what? It's like the good old days of Radio Paola. Yeah, you buy Google ads, you buy Facebook ads.
All of a sudden,
yeah.
You walk in with a little brown paper bag full of small bills, and you hand it to the disc jockey, and the next thing you know, they're playing your record.
Right.
Oh man!
Pat me on the back. I'll pat you on the back. That's the Google thing.
Anything. Yeah.
Otherwise, you just got to be really popular on your social media all the time, and you will be found also.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as a becoming necessary evil, but I like to put the emphasis on the evil because there's a lot of stuff going on online that is just not healthy for your mind or your soul.
Yeah,
I just say
that.
Well,
and I think something we tried to accomplish was all of the above with our new site, KMOG Country.
Yeah,
Mark has done a great job in tying that.
Still rounding it all, wrestling it all up. I mean, there's a few stragglers out there.
You mean it doesn't just happen overnight?
No, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah. So my favorite thing about the whole about the website. I like the information thing, and I clicked on it last night, and I thought, oh, there's a story I didn't know about. Oh, there's some information I didn't know. So that is helpful if you're going to go someplace. At least it's going to be safe. We're not going to put out any lies. If you guys put out lies, I'm calling you back in here. I'm going to call you to task. I'm just saying. So we're going to tell the truth, and we're going to put out information, and we're going to be wholesome, and we're going to represent the values of the station and the community in which we live. Those are important things. But I think the coolest thing for me is the idea that people can click on that website, and if they're in the lady this morning who called, Debbie's friend, lives in Sulphur Springs, Texas. It doesn't matter if you live in Sulphur Springs, Texas, or if you live in Bayonne, New Jersey, or wherever, but people all over the country. So if you have friends or relatives who live someplace else, and you're trying to tell them a little bit about your town and say what's it like living in Payson, and you send them some pictures every once in a while, but they could come to the website. You can send your friends to our website and learn a lot about the Rim Country, and you can listen to our station live 24/7.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't think there's one thing you can't get out of the website. It's all there. From tourism to the businesses, local businesses,
And I'm just getting started. I mean, it's great coming up here, learning you guys, and just, finding out exactly what makes this town tick, and that's the information that we're going to be putting up there more and more. Right now we're just getting the local stories, but definitely going to get in-depth with that kind of stuff. I mean, I might be putting the cart a little bit before the horse right now, but, we want to get you guys to submit cool pictures from this area, and we're going to put them up on that big, beautiful slider on the home page and feature a lot of the locals taking really cool pictures here, start a nice art gallery. But just a lot of cool local features coming.
Yeah, you got to stay tuned in because it changes every day. The website will change every day. So,
every day, yep.
Yeah, there will be something new and something better all the time.
So that sounds like a promo for the forum.
It is. I'm writing it as we speak.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but in my extensive research, I happen to know a guy named Tony down in the valley who has a Bronco shop. Do you know Tony?
I do not.
Okay,
I want to know Tony.
Yeah, you probably want to know him.
Yeah.
And all he does is work on Broncos.
Oh,
and he's got a whole lot full of them in various parts. So he's got every used part for every Bronco ever made. And then he's got a body shop there, and he does refinishing, and he do all the mechanical stuff, engineering, but only Broncos.
Well, I would tell you, Mark's hanging on to the OJ model.
I love my little baby.
1994, right?
Yep.
1994 Bronco, white Bronco.
Slow speed chase up the mountain this morning.
He hasn't let it go yet.
Yeah. I got it when it was 2 years old. That's my baby. My kids grew up in that thing, so I love that Bronco.
Yeah. Is that the original? Huh? Is that the OJ Bronco?
It is, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was his. I mean, the one he actually drove.
Well, they left the keys in it, so I just jumped right in and drove away.
Somebody had to take it.
It's 11 minutes before 10 o'clock. You're listening to the Rim Country Forum here on KMOG in Payson. We'll have more after this.
Hi, everybody. Jeff Murtaugh, CEO and designated broker of Real Estate Executives Arizona Territory. Real Estate Executives Arizona Territory is proud of Kim Ross, voted the 2021 Best Realtor, Best Broker, and Best Female Business Person in the Rim Country. Congratulations, Kim. Very well deserved. When you're looking to buy or sell real estate, hire the best. Real Estate Executives Arizona Territory is powered by the expert agents in 28 offices throughout the state of Arizona. We do residential and commercial. We are a full-service brokerage. Contact us at our website at realestateexecutives.com.
The Owens Law Firm in Payson is your trusted source for all of your estate planning needs. Wills, trusts, power of attorney, probate litigation, and more. The Owens Law Firm will help you understand all of your legal options and assist you in coming up with a plan tailored to meet your needs. Protect your estate and your legacy. Have questions? Call for a consultation now. The Owens Law Firm in Payson, 928-472-4303, or go online at owenslawaz.com. The Owens Law Firm.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Rim Country Forum. Charlie Seraphin with you on a beautiful Thursday. Gosh, the weather has been great. Yesterday was awesome. It's going to be great again today. I have a story. The other day I started these, and I'm going to drop them in from time to time. This one comes from Lane County, so it's not in Arizona, and it's not Gila County. But the headline in the newspaper says, County to pay $250,000 to advertise lack of funds.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that Lane County will spend up to $250,000 this year publicizing its tight financial picture in hopes that voters in November will approve higher taxes and public safety services.
Well, some real
Isn't that great?
Real geniuses down there in Lane County.
Yeah, and then I got one, too, from Alton. That's in Illinois, right? Alton, Illinois. Alton attorney accidentally sues himself.
Wow.
That's a good headline.
Yeah.
Did he win?
Dogs chasing their tails section there.
Did he actually win, or do we know?
Okay, no, but I got another one here, too. Police were called to Market Square for a report about a suspicious coin. Investigating officer reported it was a quarter.
Wow, on the lam.
Busted.
Okay, so Mark, there's somebody, in fact, there are a number of people listening right now, and I've had them call, and they've said, I don't have a smartphone, I don't have a computer, and I don't want one. I don't want one in my life. What would you say to someone who has that attitude, that point of view, and as I said, I believe there's artificial intelligence and the algorithms and all that. There's some good applications. There's a lot of bad applications, a lot of bad stuff that's happening to our society, our culture, as a result of the technology. But it's become a necessary tool in a lot of instances. Right. So if you have somebody right now and you're just meeting them, and I'm introducing you, and I don't remember the lady's name. I wouldn't use it if I did, but we'll call her Samantha. Mm-hmm. Okay, Samantha's out there, and she doesn't have a computer, and she doesn't go online. What is there anything you can tell her to encourage her that it's not a bad idea, or how she could go online without it having a negative effect on her life?
You might be asking that question to the wrong person, because I love all that technology. I love the fact that I can order a package or, find a restaurant instantly. And as long as I'm not running for public office and having an affair, I don't really care if you're tracking me. So I might not be the best person for that advice, but, I would say that, unless you're independently wealthy, you hit the lottery, you're good, just shacking up and being off the grid, that's great. I'm striving to get there. I just haven't won the lottery yet. So as long as I'm going to stay on the grid, and I don't have anybody chasing me, I'm not afraid to be online. It's a helpful little tool, and there's levels you can do to say, I want to be alerted about this, I want to be alerted about that, but not so much about that. And the suspicion is that, they can track you even farther. Okay, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, it's not a big deal.
it's a diminishing. You know, you have to at some point settle into the digital era.
Right.
It's just it's all that's available out there anymore. Almost all. You know, some of the old folks that don't get online and don't have access to the internet and all that. I mean, that's got to make some things tough for them anymore.
And if you're still working, and if you're still trying to, you know, chase that dream or make a dollar, I mean, that's the way you have to do it. That's the way you got to do it these days. So getting online, you know, for that reason isn't a bad thing.
And I think it's created its own problems as well. You know, just the whole technical aspect of it. How many times does your mother, your grandmother, whoever it might be, tell you, you know, they don't have their password? I deal with this every day out there, Mom. She can never find her passwords to any of her accounts, and she can never remember them either. So things like that, I mean, you've got to get tuned into.
Yeah.
You know, what if you don't? What if you don't get tuned into it?
Well, I guess then you don't know how. You can't program your TV. You can't. There's a million things out there you won't be able to do anymore because it requires it. You know, it requires you to have a password to log on to your internet service or to your, you know, whatever it might be out there. I mean, everything has some sort of password attached to it. Your cell phone, you know, I mean, all the above. So emails and so on.
More power to you if you want to stay off the grid. More power to you, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean,
well, what about this? I'd like to could we put a rule into effect that you have to spend at least the same amount of time every day outdoors, wherever you are, as you spend online?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah.
Because one's a tool and it can give you information from all over the world. You have to triple check it because a lot of times it's lies. Sorry, I mean especially the political stuff. But you can check information. In fact, you can go online right now and you can read all about Horatio Alger, which I've been using Horatio Alger as an example for years and years. And then this morning, thanks to you, Steve, when you said, "Who is that?" You know, I thought everybody knew who Horatio Alger was. So but you can go online, you can read about Horatio Alger. But the other point that I always like to make is we have GPS, which is a function of our technological age, which can help you find directions anywhere. But if you fall off the grid and you don't have cell service and you're completely dependent on GPS, you're lost because you don't know where to go. You don't know where to turn.
Right.
And our ancestors who didn't have any GPS because they didn't have any technology, they never got lost because they always kind of knew where they were going and they paid attention while they were on their way.
Exactly.
And they were going a little bit slower, but they saw things along the route and remembered, and so they could always make it back home. There are a lot of people right now that cannot get back home without GPS.
Yeah, it's just a different way of doing it. Yeah.
And to your point, I mean, they're also going to stop printing street maps. You know, you used to be able to stop at your local rest area along the road and buy a map, and that's the way we navigated back in the day. But if they stop doing that, you know, you need your technology.
Well, they force you into it. They pull the payphones. No more payphones in the world. So you have to have a cell phone if you're out and about, and then you need your password to get into that cell phone. And if you want to pull up a map, you better have it as well. So, you know.
Yeah. If you hand a map to a lot of young people right now, they don't know which way is up. They absolutely cannot look at a map and figure it out.
Yep.
Here's where you are. Here's where you want to go. The world is changing, folks. It's kind of dragging some of us along, not necessarily voluntarily, but it is. But Mark, what you've done with the website, and again, I spent a little time on it last night. It's just really is spectacular. It looks awesome. And
I love that you guys appreciate that, but I'm telling you, there's so many cool things coming. Just wait.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do this from time to time. We'll have you guys sit back in here again, and well, as we get the updates, and we encourage people to send things in and whatnot. But even right now, if you click on the website and you go down to the forum page where I am, and at the bottom of it, and it says, "You want to send Charlie a note? You want to send me a note? You can send me something in writing that I will get.
Yep.
That is not going to be broadcast out to the world unless you put on there, put this on the show tomorrow."
If I think it's funny, I'm going to put it up.
Yeah. There you go. All right, where's my sponsor sheet here? Thank you to Holiday Cruises and Tours, the Dana Law Group, Furry Friends, who won the Best Of category, Hospitality Wireless, Best Of, Pinnacle Propane won the Best Of, Realty Executives Arizona Territory, Kim Ross won the Best Of, Owens Law Firm, Jared Owens won the Best Of attorney in town. Sunshine Cleaning and Restoration, Best Of in the awards. All of the sponsors, we have great sponsors here, and KMOG. Do I remember them?
Did you remember they won the Best Of?
KMOG, best radio station. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the only radio station.
I'm sure I heard that or not.
It's the only radio station.
That it is.
Join us again tomorrow morning. Hey, Steve, who do we have on tomorrow? Come on.
Tomorrow is...
I know. It's Plant Fair Nursery.
Yeah, Glenn McCombs from Plant Fair Nursery will be here talking about getting you ready for the new season, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, so all your plant questions, health of your plants, damage, winter damage from the storm, elk eating the bark off your trees, like my trees. Maybe he'll have answers to all those questions. We look forward to meeting him tomorrow. You're listening to KMOG Payson, where it's 10 o'clock.